What if I told you that the new Minecraft combat system will be ruining Hypixel? Now, for those of you who don't know, Minecraft will be updating their combat system. I don't know, they announced it like a year ago or something. I'm not sure when it's going to happen. Look, Antvenom made a video on it, or a few videos. You can check them out. They'll probably be linked in the description if I remember. Anyhow, Minecraft will be updating their combat system, and let me just fix this lighting here on the face again. The sun's right. Oh god, this is terrible. Anyhow, the new Minecraft combat system is going to be kind of a convergence between 1.8 and 1.16 PvP, but it's going to be super weird. So I think some of the biggest changes with the new Minecraft combat system that will be coming out eventually is, number one, they're getting rid of hit delay. Now, for those of you who don't know, hit delay basically means that in Minecraft you can only take damage 2 times a second. You can't take damage like 50 times a second. If someone's clicking 50 times a second on you, you're only going to take damage 2 times a second. Now, the fact that they're getting rid of this is going to be very interesting, because now if someone clicks like 20 times a second, they can do damage to you that many times a second. So if you're clicking on someone 20 times a second with like a netherite axe, then you're doing like probably 12 damage times 20. You know, you're doing a crap load of damage every second. They're going to die in like less than a second. So I have some mixed feelings about this. Personally, I don't necessarily agree with the hit delay thing. And in terms of Hypixel itself, it's going to be interesting. Now, this would actually, I think this would give you a disadvantage, because other people are still only going to be capable of taking damage 2 times a second, but you could take damage multiple times a second. Hypixel will have to find some way to patch it, or maybe they just won't update to that version at all. But considering most players, well, not most players, but a good portion of Hypixel's players play on the newest version, they definitely could lose some of their audience. Now, another big change is they're changing the recharge time. So, for those of you who don't know, when the 1.9 update came out, they basically nerfed CPS by adding a recharge time, so you can only do full damage every, however long it takes to recharge. So the fastest weapon to recharge that's actually viable is a sword. Recharges about once every second. So if you're clicking any faster than 1 CPS, it's just not going to work well for you. Whereas in 1.8, you want to basically be clicking as fast as you can. Now, they're changing the recharge time, actually. So rather than impacting damage, it's going to impact reach. And this is going to be super interesting. Different weapons are now going to have different reach thresholds. So, for example, the netherite shovel or netherite hoe will be able to hit someone from 3.5 blocks away, I believe, whereas the netherite axe will only be able to hit someone from like 2.5 blocks away fully recharged. Now, if it's not fully recharged, netherite axe can only hit someone from 1.5 blocks away, and I think like a netherite shovel probably is only 2.5 blocks away if it's not fully recharged, which is going to be interesting. Now, this is going to be very interesting, because Hypixel is going to have to find a workaround and a plugin to undo this, because you can't have people essentially reach hacking or having disadvantaged reach on your server. And I'm not entirely sure how they're going to do this. Obviously, they have an anti-cheat to ban people who are reach hacking, but I don't know how they can just straight up shut down reach hackers. So we'll have to see how that works. And obviously, the different weapons having different reach is interesting. Now, they're also adding a few other things in this update. Of course, they're actually going to impact the amount of time you can heal. So, for example, like if you're trying to eat a golden apple mid-fight, if you get hit, then your eating time is going to be reset, which is going to be interesting. You can also now stack potions, I believe, and snowballs. Because there's no hit delay, you can hit someone like 50 times a second with the snowball. And apparently snowballs will also impact you through shields. So I foresee snowballs becoming a major staple of 1.19 or 18, whenever this PvP update comes out. Snowballs are going to be a huge factor in it. Honestly, I think the best thing is just to be like drag clicking, or not drag clicking, but just butterfly clicking a netherite axe on someone from close proximity. You'll be killing them in like half a second. And obviously Hypixel is going to have a hell of a time working around all these new updates. The problem is, if Hypixel doesn't update to this version, they're going to lose a chunk of their player base. And you might be thinking, well, okay, those players are bad, they're new players, but look, new players are the future of Hypixel. They keep a server alive. If you only rely on older players and you don't get any new players, eventually those older players leave, and then your server dies. So Hypixel does need those new players. They're going to have to find some solution, otherwise their server is going to suffer. Anyhow, that's about it for this video. If you did enjoy, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.